Hi Bible 101, it's Sarah. Okay, quick review. The Hebrew Bible. It's made up of 39 books. And in the Jewish tradition, these books are divided into 3 categories, which you may remember. The first, the Torah. Those are the first 5 books of the Bible. Next, the prophets. We heard from Isaiah in your Advent lesson, and then last week you took a look at Micah, who is considered a minor prophet, but definitely a prophet. And then finally, the writings. You'll be getting into this section of the Hebrew Bible pretty soon in a few lessons that are coming up next month. Okay, so we started the year with the Torah, with a lot of stories about journeys. These journeys were about people who were on the move. So let's think back. God meets Adam and Eve in the garden, but then they are on the move out of the Garden of Eden and into the big wide world. Then God appears to Noah. Noah goes on a journey of creating the ark, living through the flood, and experiencing the covenant that God builds with him that will keep his people safe. And then Abram and Sarai, who become Abraham and Sarah, they took quite a journey all through the desert, trying to find a new home after they had to leave their home. They go place to place wherever God calls them. So, after we did those journey lessons, you spent a little bit of time in the New Testament around Jesus's birth, and you spent a little time with the prophets. But we're going back today to the Torah, to a story of another journey. And this journey is the one of Moses and the people of Israel. And they took this journey out of slavery in Egypt and into freedom toward the promised land. I'm going to let you tell Phil everything you remember about the Moses story from your godly play days, and maybe from books that you read in the book corner at church, or maybe other sources that you have to learn about the prophet Moses. But before you go do that, I want to share a video clip with you of a sermon preached by another prophet. His name was Martin Luther King Jr. So Dr. King, on the night before he was assassinated, he spoke to a crowd of folks who were protesting nonviolently for equal rights, for fairness, for justice, for respect. And I want you to keep in mind Moses as you're listening to Dr. King in this clip. And then later you can talk with Phil about your thoughts and your wonderings. Okay, get to it. Bye.
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper. If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. So just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of